All right, let's dive in. We've got the source material here for today's deep dive, picked out just for you.
Okay.
We're looking at just one source today. It's an article from the Washington Post,
Right.
dated June 6th, 2025. And the title is Trump's 2025 Presidential Outlook.
Got it. A single snapshot.
Exactly. So our mission really is just to unpack this specific article. We want to understand the perspective it offers on the outlook for Trump's presidency in 2025, strictly based on what's in this one piece.
That's key. Yeah. We're synthesizing only the information, the viewpoints that are presented right here in this particular Washington Post article from that date.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. It's like looking at one photo from that day, and our goal is just to understand what that specific photo shows.
Okay, good. So digging into it,
Yeah.
what does this article actually highlight? What are the key factors, shaping this outlook according to the Post?
Well, one of the first things that seems to really lean into is the economy.
Right. The state of the economy as of June 2025.
Exactly, as of that moment. The article presents the economic indicators from then as a major driver of the whole outlook.
How so? What kind of indicators?
It points specifically to things like, recent job growth numbers mentioned in the piece, inflation trends, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And it suggests these are really central to the public mood and the political climate that the article describes.
Makes sense. But it's not just the economy, is it? I notice the article also seems to spend a fair bit of time on the legislative side of things.
Definitely. Yeah.
Like the agenda, potential policy fights, stuff expected later in the year.
That's right. The piece goes into some detail on potential legislative flashpoints. It talks about proposals connected to, let's say, infrastructure spending, maybe some regulatory reform ideas.
Okay, plausible areas.
Yeah, exactly. And it explains how the article thinks these initiatives will land with different political groups
Uh-huh.
and potentially reshape the administration's priorities, based on the reporting in the article.
Interesting. And switching gears just a bit, there's also mention of the political dynamics within the Republican Party, right?
Yes.
The challenges, maybe support structures for the president from his own side, as seen in 2025, according to this piece.
The article does go into that, doesn't it? It mentions, for example, the role of certain congressional leaders, maybe the influence of a specific faction within the party,
Right.
and it analyzes their position relative to the administration's direction, as reported in the piece.
And how that relationship shapes the outlook.
Precisely. The article frames these internal dynamics as, really crucial parts of the bigger political picture it's painting at that moment.
It's quite something seeing how the article weaves these different threads together.
It is.
You've got the economy, legislation, internal party politics, all bundled into this article's perspective on the outlook.
And what's really notable, I think, is how this specific piece, published on this specific date, connects all those elements.
Yeah.
It's presenting a view, a synthesis, that's really unique to its reporting and its analysis right at that point in time. Yeah. June 6th, 2025.
Okay, so just to recap for you listening, we've done this deep dive into one source, the Washington Post article, Trump's 2025 Presidential Outlook, from June 6, 2025. And we focus completely on the perspective provided within that article.
That's right. We've pulled out the key points it raised about the economy, the legislative scene, the internal party stuff, but only as they were presented in that single source.
Which I think brings us back to the nature of the source itself, looking at just this one article published on a specific day, June 6, 2025, offering an outlook. Kind of raises a bigger question for you to think about.
What's that?
Well, how much does any single source, published at one particular moment by one particular outlet, how much does it really shape our understanding of something so complex, so fluid as a presidential outlook?
That's a great point. It's constantly shifting.
Exactly. So this Washington Post article, it just offers one data point. It's one specific perspective from one day in June 2025, something for you to consider.